Haramai and welcome back to New Zealand Elections in History. The 1896 New Zealand general election was held on Wednesday the 4th of December in the general electorates and on Thursday the 19th of December in the Māori electorates to elect a total of 74 MPs to the 13th session of the New Zealand Parliament, after Governor David Boyle, the 7th Earl of Glasgow, dissolved Parliament on October the 17th. You may have noticed the two different election dates. That's because in New Zealand there are two different electorates. The general electorate, or general roll, consists of all eligible voters of European descent. Most seats in Parliament are general electorate. The Māori electorate, also known as the Māori seats, are seats reserved for Māori politicians. Only voters who are Māori can be enrolled in the Māori roll. However, they can opt to either be on the general roll or the Māori roll. This system was created in the 1850s to ensure that Māori had a voice in Parliament. In 1896, there were 4 Māori seats. After winning a landslide in the 1893 election, Richard Seddon continued the many reforms of the Liberal government. He aggressively proclaimed a populist anti-elite philosophy in many speeches, in one speech saying, "It is the rich and the poor, it is the wealthy people and the landowners against the middle classes and the labouring classes." It was this kind of rhetoric that gave Seddon enormous popularity amongst the working class and emerging middle class. During this time, Richard Seddon became affectionately known to his supporters and wider public as King Dick. Yep, that's right, they called him King Dick. Moving on. During the 12th New Zealand Parliament, the Liberals continued their reforming agenda, passing major radical laws. The government increased land taxes on large estates to encourage owners to subdivide. In 1894, Parliament passed the Land for Settlements Act, giving the government power to acquire new land when offered it by the owner. The government also passed the Industrial Conciliation and Arbitration Act 1894. It was the world's first compulsory system of state arbitration. It gave legal recognition to unions and enabled them to take disputes to the Conciliation Board, consisting of members elected by employers and workers. Fun fact, the Industrial Conciliation and Arbitration Act 1894 would remain in law until 1991, when it was abolished by the Fourth National Government. Things seemed to be going well for the Liberals until 1895, when the economy stagnated, raising unemployment, which caused support for the Liberals to fall. Looking to capitalise on the declining popularity of the Liberals were the Conservatives. Following the 1893 election, which left them both leaderless and decimated, holding only 13 seats out of a parliament of 74. In 1894, the Conservatives would elect Sir William Russell, MP for Hawke's Bay, as their leader. Russell was born into a military family in Sandhurst, Berkshire, England, and educated at the Royal Military College, Sandhurst. He joined the 58th Regiment and came to New Zealand as an ensign in 1857. In 1862, he sold his captain's commission to settle in Hawke's Bay, taking up with his brother 31,000 acres of rolling hill country 25 miles west of Napier. In Hawke's Bay, Russell became involved in civic affairs and became renowned for his capability as an administrator. He was to serve on a multitude of local boards, including the Hawke's Bay County Council and Charitable Aid Board. Russell, as a major landowner, was regarded by many as having little sympathy for working people. His involvement in local affairs led him to be liked and admired by Hawke's Bay elite. During this period, the Conservative often attacked Seddon for his lack of education and sophistication. One opponent said that he was only partially civilised. However, this backfired and reinforced Seddon's reputation as an enemy of elitism. Despite the growing discontent of the public with the Liberals, going into election day, many expected them to be returned to power with a considerable majority. And the winner was, in one of the most unexpected and nail-biting results in New Zealand's history, Richard Seddon and the Liberals were returned with 39 seats, a loss of 12 from the last election, and won 54.8% of the popular vote. Despite a swing of 9.5% nationally in their favour and picking up 13 seats, it wasn't enough to help the Conservatives gain power. They won 26 seats and 34% of the popular vote. Due to their unpopularity, the Liberals suffered massive swings against them, mainly in urban seats, but also in some rural areas. However, their 1893 landslide was able to shield them just enough so they could cling on to power. Fun fact, this was the first election which showed the importance of the Māori seats. After most of the results of the general electorates had been declared on the 21st of November, the Liberals were 3 seats short of a working majority. Seddon would have to wait until December the 12th before 3 Liberal candidates in the Māori seats were declared winners. Thanks for watching, and come back for the election of 1899.
Sweet.